to see the Vancouver Grizzlies take on the Kings in their home opener. Here's tonight's Southwest Airlines game preview. Southwest Airlines with fares so low, you have the freedom to go places. And hi again, everybody. I'm Grant Napier. The Kings opening up the season Friday in San Antonio falling short. The Grizzlies have been idle all weekend. This is game number 1 of the 50-game schedule. The Kings may be an advantage. We'll find out in about 2.5 hours. It's a pleasure to be with Jim Kozimor. We've talked about the lopsided schedule. 10 of 13 on the road, so that means that this game tonight is a big one.
Boy, it certainly is, Grant. When you take a look at what the Kings have to do in a 3-month season, in that first month having just 3 on the home hardwood, that means every game almost is like a playoff game. Tonight, they're going to have an orchestra of 17,000 plus behind them, but it's a must-win situation for the Kings tonight.
Boy, Coz, how about the matchup at the point? Jason Williams, you saw what he did Friday night against San Antonio against the number 2 guy taken in the draft, Mike Bibby.
Boy, this one's going to be a lot of fun, and something we'll want to see for the next 10 years in the Western Conference, but it's big. The guy on the left, Jason Williams, great debut. The guy on the right in his first game has had 2 tough preseason games. One against Gary Payton in Seattle, the other, Damon Stoudemire in Portland. So you know he's been tough tested already.
All games come down to shooting. The Kings did not shoot the ball well Friday night. They had good looks. They just wouldn't fall. Hopefully the home court will solve that problem.
Boy, absolutely right. But I chalk it up for the 3 guys you see, Corliss, Vlade, and Peja, as just early jitters, and also the Kings are in the getting-to-know-you phase of their team. Once they get to know the way one another plays, this team is going to come together, Grant, and it's going to be fun to see.
Coz, a nice debut for Chris Webber, a double-double against the Twin Towers of Tim Duncan and David Robinson.
Boy, this fella can play. He brings it and brings it hard, and Chris Webber showed his numbers. Not only the double-double, but aggressive play from Chris Webber. When he got on the perimeter and he saw a big man, he went to the rack, and he did it strong, and it didn't matter who was guarding him. And if he can continue to be aggressive, Grant, the Kings are in good shape.
Well, Coach, the Grizzlies are building their future around Sharif Abdur-Rahim, and if you don't believe it, all you have to do is read the lettering in his contract, particularly near the dollar sign.
Yeah, exactly. $71 million, Grant. We all should have those kind of problems, but now he's got to carry the Grizz on his back. This guy needs to score, and he can do it at both ends. That's what I like. At the defensive end, he overplays. Then it's transition basketball. He plays both ends. You pay big money. Now it's time for him to produce.
All right, Jim, that's tonight's Southwest Airlines game preview. Southwest Airlines with fares so low, you have the freedom to go places. When we come back, we'll chat with Kings rookie point guard Jason Williams. Moments away from tip-off. It's the Grizzlies and Kings next. Off for some pregame festivities. Why don't we take a look at the Folsom Lake Forward keys to the game? And, Coach, we start with Sacramento.
Boy, this is a club that everyone knows after game 1 in San Antonio. They just need to make shots. That'll cure a lot of ills, but they got good looks. Now it's a chance to get on the home hardwood and do well. The other thing they have to do is improve transition defense. In the third quarter against San Antonio, 10 layups were given up to the Spurs. You can't do that. Let's take a look at the Grizzlies. Their first ball game, they love to get into the open court. If they can do that, they're going to create havoc because that transition D hasn't been great for the Kings. The other thing Vancouver needs to do is get the big guys involved. And the reason is they're going to get scoring from Abdur-Rahim and from the guard and Bibby. You need to establish an inside presence. That's what the Grizz need to do.
Tonight's keys to the game were brought to you by Folsom Lake Ford, Highway 50 at the Folsom exit under the flag. Well, quite a debut for Jason Williams, the Kings rookie point guard, 21 points, and perhaps the most surprising thing about Jason Williams' game, no nerves, no fear. I asked him about that about 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, I just try to go out and have fun and just try to help my team get a win, but we came up short. We're just going to keep working hard. I think the future's bright for us.
I think so. You didn't even seem to be nervous. I mean, your first game ever in the NBA, but you kept the nerves in check. How'd you do that?
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have been asking me. That's what I do for a living. No need to be nervous, so just go out and play ball.
This is a whole new experience for you, isn't it? I know the other night when we were playing the Warriors in the preseason, you had said you'd never seen San Francisco. You got to look at the city from the bus. You had never been to San Antonio. So not only is it playing in the NBA that's new for you, but all these new cities, all these new buildings.
Yeah, I'm from a small town in West Virginia. I just get out and see the world a little bit now.
Yeah. Let's talk about the ball club. You scored, but Divac, Peja, Tarek, Chris had a nice ball game with 20 points. Good looks, but the ball just wasn't falling, it seemed like.
Yeah, I think we got what we wanted, except maybe on the defensive end. But on the offensive end, we got a lot of open shots. We just wasn't putting the ball in the hole, and that's going to happen sometimes.
What about you running the ball club? Obviously, you showed the other night that you can score, but how important is it to get the ball? You have so many guys out there now that can score.
Yeah, that's something the coach and I talked about, just sometimes I try to push it a little too fast, and I'm out ball by myself. I got to slow down and wait on the guys to come down.
Jason, everybody wants to talk about the matchup tonight with Mike Bibby. You were taken 7th. He was taken number 2. Of course, led his alma mater, Arizona, to a national championship his freshman year. What about that matchup tonight? You got to be looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not going to get into it like a Jason versus Mike show. You know, it's Vancouver versus Sacramento. We're just going to go out and try to get a win.
But is there more to that? I know it's not you against Mike Bibby, but still, you're probably very curious about what type of game he has.
Yeah, you know, I'm anxious to play against him. I'm sure he's anxious to play against me, but like I said, we're just going to go out and just play hard as a team and try to get a win.
First time in front of the hometown fans for real. This place will be packed tonight. You're looking forward to it?
Yeah, you know, I hope it's really packed, and I hope they get loud because that's a boost for us.
Chris Webber at the forwards, and the backcourt, the man we just heard from, Jason Williams and Tarek Abdul-Wahed. For the Grizzlies, Tony Massenberg in the middle with Sharif Abdur-Rahim and Cherokee Parks down low, and Mike Bibby and Sam Mack, the Vancouver backcourt. Fellas, we told you the home opener for Sacramento, the festivities, the lights off. Loyalty was shown from the organization to him last year. A contract extension, $66 million, which opened eyes all over the league. So what happens? He comes in the camp 45 pounds overweight. He's already lost 15 of those pounds, but they said, hey, let me tell you something. You've got to get down to this weight, and until that point in time, you're coming off the bench.
Big country became very big country, and if he stays like this, he'll become a vast wasteland, because this is not what you want your real estate purchase to look like. This guy had a lot put on him. The tag with $66 million. I'm sorry, that's going to follow you, and you've got to start to produce. That's a nice start to a front line with Abdur-Rahim, with big country Bryant Reeves. You know you've got those two guys, but if one of those players isn't going to come to play, that just pushes you back some in trying to develop your young organization. And this guy, Grant, has a tough job ahead of him. He knows what it's like to see an organization grow from his time in Orlando. Brian Hill, though, has got to do it here in Vancouver.
Well, I think the organization showed Brian Hill and the community that they are committed to putting a winning product on the floor by going out and giving the money. We talked about big country, but to Sharif Abdur-Rahim, who is the focal point of that franchise, who really is somebody that is far away from even being in his prime and already has shown that he can play with the best in the NBA. There he is right there, the young man out of California. We talked about the $71 million contract.
Well, it's a fun one, and tonight we'll see how the early game jitters are for everyone. You know, anytime it's a home opener for both teams, it's tough, and we'll see how the early start to this game goes for both clubs.
Well, you see, Vlade Divac, the fourth official, behind Terry Durham on the left, Violet Palmer in the middle, and Kenny Maurer rounding out the crew. I think Violet Palmer worked the game last night in Golden State with the Warriors and the Rockets, which turned out to be a dandy. I know you were there.
Yes, a lot of fun. She had a couple of big calls late in that ball game, too. And the Rockets came back and got a win at the new arena.
All right, it's Divac and Massenberg, and Sacramento will control. Coming off the loss 101-83 on Friday night, Williams and Abdul-Wahed in the backcourt. Williamson, Weber with Divac, the big man in the middle. And Abdur-Rahim able to knock it away. That's another matchup that we talked about briefly, but the small forward tonight with Sharif Abdur-Rahim and Corliss Williamson, that's definitely going to be one to keep your eye on. Weber and Divac. Divac is a step behind the pass. Weber said, my fault, and a turnover for Sacramento.
Well, a good thought and good identification, at least seeing what could have happened. And so the Kings, again, still trying to learn one another, and it's early.
Mike Bibby, as a freshman, led Arizona to the NCAA title. And now Mack trying to shake free. Bibby. Nice job of boxing out by Divac. Look at the quick outlet pass. Kings looking to run, but now Vancouver gets back. Williams from downtown. And last touch by Sacramento.
A little bit of anticipation when Jason touches that ball. Everyone knows what it's like after the opener in San Antonio. This crowd just waiting for a flash out of number 55. It's going to be fun watching this point guard matchup tonight, Grant.
Mike Bibby, 17 points, 6 assists last year with Arizona. Now Massenberg, Weber, nice job to poke it away. And he gets it back. You know, the one thing you got to be careful when you let the big guy catch the ball that close to the basket, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you certainly are. And he had position, felt where the defense was, and then got aggressive with it. And that's good to see out of the young big man, Massenberg.
Divac with an advantage against Parks. And they're tied at 2. Now Mack, who starting 35 games last year, starts here tonight for Brian Hill's Grizzlies. Williams off the crossover. Wow.
That's pretty and a great way to start it. These fans wanted to see number 55 get aggressive with the ball, and he can do those things. When he makes himself a threat, defenses have to focus on him. That's going to open up more for Kings teammates.
Now Bibby draws the double team. And Mack with a corner three. And the Grizzlies back on top by a point.
Sam Mack can get hot in a hurry. He is a guy who's a streaky shooter. Once saw him in a preseason game, hit 7 straight threes.
That's a good way to get Corliss going. The other night, Corliss Williamson, just 2 of 10. And hey, you like to see a guy get active early, Coach.
Yeah, and get high percentage looks that time.
Sharif Abdur-Rahim. Team shooting the ball very well here in the early going, both at 75%. Weber left open.
Boy, game 2 a lot better for the Sacramento Kings team. They're getting good looks and they're connecting on them. And part of that's the early season jitters, but right now they're feeling more comfortable with 1 game under the belts.
Now Mack, not this time. He's a good three-point shooter, 40% from downtown. And Williams trying to thread the needle to Weber, but it was knocked out of bounds by Abdur-Rahim.
Nice look that time as Jason felt that Chris Weber was open underneath, and then he tried to look the defense off. That's the special extra that he brings to a ball game.
Now both teams shooting the ball well here in the early going with 9 minutes and 10 seconds left.
Well, what a matchup the point guards are going to be. This is going to be fun. The first time, and I'm telling you, for the next 10 years, boy, you're going to see a great matchup there.
Vlade Divac with his second basket for 4. And the Kings on top by 3. Well, you see the strategy as Weber came out and tried to double Bibby. Nice job by Williamson to stay in front of Abdur-Rahim. And look out, the Kings with numbers. Williamson filling the lane, but instead, Williams. Corliss. A little bit too strong off the window. Alley-oop to Massenberg. Nicely done for Mike Bibby.
Real nice identification. Bibby saw what he had in front of him, and he laid it up on the cylinder. That was easy for Massenberg.
Now Tark. Thought he was fouled. No whistle. Tark just 1 of 4 Friday night against the Spurs. Now Bibby showing the crossover and the draw and kick. Well, again, we talked about Mack last year shooting 40% from three-point land. That's the second triple of the game.
You can't leave him open. When he gets streaky, he'll start looking for his shot, and he can get greedy, and greedy in a good way. He'll try to get open and work harder offensively. You've got to make him work at the other end to tire him out.
We're 4 minutes into the first quarter, and Weber off the turnaround, not able to connect. Oh, Bibby got by Williams that time, but too hard. Williams. Jason Williams taking it the length of the floor.
And using the offhand that time as he looked the defense up. That tiny little look freezes everyone, and that enables him to use the explosiveness to get right to the cylinder.
Williams with 21 on Friday night already with 2 baskets for 4. Abdur-Rahim, no, but a bump foul, and I think they've got Vlade Divac with the first foul of Sacramento.
Well, the point guard matchup's going to be a lot of fun, and Vancouver's got a good one in Mike Bibby, and he saw the numbers on the floor and then made it easy for Massenberg. And it's real good that he understood the spacing that time, not getting out of control and not forcing it, but taking what was given.
Now Sharif Abdur-Rahim, Coach, we saw in that last move, he's got such a quick first step.
He does, and he can make it difficult because with the guys listed at 6'9", in the long arms, he's quicker than a lot of guys and taller than a lot of guys that he's going to have to play against, and he's going to be able to beat them in a bunch of different fashions.
Could be a senior if he had stayed in college this year. He is a talent, make no mistake about it.
Well, they rewarded him $71 million, and he'll have to continue to develop and produce, but he's a good one.
Now Williamson and Tark not able to keep it alive, but it may have gone off Bibby. No, they say it's off Tark. So we'll go to Vancouver with the game tied at 12. Just over 7 minutes left opening quarter. And don't forget, tickets available for home game number 2 against the Celts on February 16th. Tickets, call Ticketmaster or stop by the Arco box office during the regular business hours. You saw Massenberg knife his way down low, and the foul called on Tariq Abdul-Wahed.
And that's real good for Massenburg to get strong inside.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take the break. The game tied at 12. This message brought to you by Southwest Airlines. 17.5 boards. Wow.
Boy, he is really carrying the Houston Rockets right now. Charles Barkley in the first 2 games has proven he's the guy who's going to lead that team. It used to be Dream's team. Everyone thought it would be Scottie Pippen's team, Grant, but after seeing them up close and personal yesterday at the new arena, it's number 4's team. Sir Charles is back.
Tony Massenburg started the final 6 games for Vancouver last year, and I'll tell you, he played very well. 23 points, 9.5 rebounds, and I'm not sure a lot of people are disappointed that Big Country's on the bench with numbers like that.
No, in fact, last year he had his career high, 34 against his Kings club in an overtime game, and it was a Grizzlies win. And so they're going to have to watch that guy as far as the offensive end goes. It's not something they would normally have to do.
Now let's see if the Kings can get back on track. They started off the game making 4 of 5, but since then they have missed 5 of their last 7 attempts. 8 on the shot clock. Weber. And now it's deflected by Bibby, and that's going to run the shot clock down to 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's tough. I was wondering if Jason would let it go out of bounds or try to grab it and move up. Now you got 2 seconds, which is time to get a good look, but what you need is execution in this instance.
Well, it's going to be Williams from half court.
Almost executed.
Absolutely. Now numbers the other way, and Williams able to get back. Good hustle. And a long lead pass over the shoulder, Weber. Oh! Tariq Abdul-Wahed. And that gets the fans up here at Arco.
Absolutely wonderful break that time, and everyone showing how well they can pass the ball and doing the things they do well, including Abdul-Wahed, who ran the floor like a champ.
We're tied at 14. And it's kicked off of Sacramento.
Boy, this is just wonderful after the Jason steal. Quickly the head up. Now he throws a pass that's tough to handle, but Weber already was thinking ahead of the game. And give credit to number 9. Abdul-Wahed running the floor, knew he was going to get an opportunity. So everyone did a good job, including Chris Weber.
Now Bibby with the baseline pop. Parks had position on Weber. Cherokee Parks.
It's a good pickup for Vancouver. Another big body on that front line, and once they get Big Country in playing shape, that's going to be a nice little addition for them.
Grizzlies back on top by 2. Divac with 4 points thus far. Oh, what a pass to Weber. Roddy Divac showing the passing skills.
That's super. Give Weber credit because he identified his defender went down to double. So you got to dive to the hoop, and Chris did that after seeing it.
And the Kings again come up with a turnover. Williams with a full head of steam. Oh, what a pass! Oh, the fans are going to love this kid. They are going to absolutely love Jason Williams. The excitement is back here at Arco. And the fans come to their feet. 20-second timeout. Oh, boy. How about Jason Williams?
Unbelievable what this kid can do. Now, what you've got in this play a couple of moments ago was a double team by Massenburg. Weber saw it, and then he dove right down the lane, and Vlade saw it as well. Now, that's good execution, but this is just special off the break. The defense has to say, what's going on? Their head should be on a platter spinning around 360, because when 55 has it, you don't know if he's going to go behind his head, behind his back, through his legs, look you off and take it to the rim. Now, he's already shown he can do different things in the same circumstance. That's big. And now you've got a guy who can help from the outside, and Peja Stojakovic coming in.
Wow, Jason Williams got the crowd energized here, early moments.
You see, and that's what I mean by when you take it to the rack yourself like Williams did early in this game, that puts it in the defense's mind. This time down the floor, they didn't know what he was going to do, and he froze him with a behind-the-head pass.
Of course, it started with defense, taking advantage of Vancouver's 3rd turnover. Now the double on Bibby. Tariq not able to come up with a steal. Mack with that corner 3. And again, they look to run. This is exciting. Weber!
That's not fair. 6'10" getting up and down the floor on the dribble. That's just dirty pool.
Now Bibby not able to connect. Mike Bibby starting off the game 0 of 4 in his NBA debut. Kings on a 6-0 run, lead by 4. Shot clock at 10.
Good spacing by Vancouver that time.
And numbers again. Boy, Vancouver just not getting back on defense. Williamson! Jason Williams set him up perfectly, but it was a little too hard off the window. Well, I think we can tell the 24-second shot clock operator to go home.
You're right. Uh-oh, look out.
Big Nasty.
And he is going to be Big Nasty in that circumstance. He'll just take it right in on the defense. Right now, Vancouver must be frustrated because when they're getting in transition, they're noticing 4 and 5 white jerseys back, so they're not getting the easy hoop, and they're forcing it. And then when the Kings get transition, they're getting better looks.
Well, Parks, like the strategy there, the Kings doubling Bibby and forcing other players such as Parks to shoot from the perimeter. Sacramento with the 6-point lead. 3 minutes, 35 seconds left opening quarter. That will count as a shot, even though Divac was trying to pass.
Right idea, not the right execution.
Oh, nice touch pass. Weber gets back, but they're going to call him for the foul, and Weber does not like it, and neither do the 17,000 plus here in Arco.
Oh, that's a tough one. It looked like Chris went right up on that one and was able to tap it off the window and then keep it alive. That would have been control. That time Bibby came down, tried that little alley-oop again, this time for Abdul Rahim, and give that guy some credit. He saw what he had around him. Oh, that looked like it was a clean block. That looked real clean, but boy, did you see how many white jerseys were coming back for the Kings? That's a good sign in transition defense.
Well, you see 650 pounds just checking into the game. Oliver Miller at about 350. Big Country, 300 or so.
What do they use to gauge earthquakes? They're going to need one of those when those two run up and down the floor.
Cherokee Parks not able to connect. I'll tell you. You know, we talk about the up and down tempo. Fans love to watch this style of basketball. It's exciting.
Well, they certainly do. They get into the game, and you know what? Players get into the game as well. And it'll be fun to see how this group, the second unit, comes in and helps out for the Sacramento Kings.
That's Ali and Stojakovic, Miller, Williamson, and Weber down low. And this is a 3-second violation called. And now let's see the hand that Michael Smith gets, the very popular former King.
Boy, a real fan favorite here, and they remember that. A lot of people really hated to see this guy leave.
He's a hard worker. 3 minutes left here in the opening quarter. And Mack runs into a wall. And again, transition. Stojakovic from Weber.
Well, that's good. Get him an easy basket like that to gain confidence at home.
Now Mack off the side pop. Back to Weber, though. What a luxury to have a guy at 6'10" that can run the floor and handle the ball like Chris Weber.
Yeah, he really can. Passes the ball so well. I don't think he gets enough credit for the type of passer he is, and that just makes your teammates better. Everyone will be looking for the ball when Chris Weber has it, or a number of guys in the white jerseys tonight.
Grab foul called. Sam Mack on the hold. And there's a timeout on the floor with 2 minutes and 23 seconds left here in the first. Weber and the Kings running the floor, and they lead by 6. Brought to you by Pepsi, proud sponsor of the Sacramento Kings. Chris Weber in his Kings debut. 20 points and 12 rebounds. Who's not? Well, how about Big Country? Brian Reeves. 290. I think they're being charitable.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Although when we saw him working out before the ball game, I think we both were expecting something a little bit larger than what we saw. He's still a big fella, and he is spread out some. That's a lot of material you see on that jersey. And the big fella, he's another guy, Grant, who has to produce for this club. They spent big money on him and Abdul Rahim.
Well, you see the Kings running to the tune of 14 points on the break. Nice pass by Oliver Miller off the double team. Ollie not able to connect. Bibby in the backcourt. Mack remains at the shooting guard. Reeves, Abdul Rahim, and Smith on the front line for the Vancouver Grizzlies. Michael Smith, not much of an offensive game. So he gives it up. Mack's going to have to shoot at the horn. And it's off of Vancouver.
See, now that's what you want to do with Sam Mack. Make him move with the basketball just a little bit. If you let his feet get set, he's going to beat you.
Jason Sasser, who actually was drafted by Sacramento in the second round 2 years back and was sent to Portland for cash. 24-18, final moments, first quarter.
Portland paying cash. Their owner's got a lot of that.
Absolutely.
They should ask for some stock options along the way.
Peja Stojakovic. Nice pass to the Big O. Boy, the Kings are really passing the ball tonight.
Yeah, they are, Grant. Let's not forget that Peja is, everyone thinks he's just a shooter. He can pass.
Bibby off balance. Kings 26-18, looking for more. Weber with the side pop. And you see the whistle and the foul called. You know, I think you take a look at the difference already, Jim, from Friday night to tonight. Friday night in the entire game, Sacramento had only 13 assists. Already in the first quarter, 11 assisted baskets.
Well, we know that this team likes to play with one another. They have a lot of fun. Rick Adelman really has been emphasizing play as a team because there are so many threats offensively. That means assist total should be able to go up, and that one extra game helps out as well.
Now the double team on Reeves. Bibby still looking for his first points. Sasser, little side jumper, no good. Kings looking to go up by double digits on this trip.
See if you can get a 2-for-1 here.
And a foul there. Foul's on Sasser. That's going to be the first foul on Sasser. And the first in the last 2 minutes. Hey, be sure and join Peja Stojakovic on Saturday, February 13th from 2:30 to 3:30. They'll be signing autographs at Folsom Lake Ford and Folsom Lake Toyota. Highway 50 under the flag.
But have a lot of ink. Stojakovic, a long name.
Now that is a unforced turnover. Those are the type of turnovers that kill you.
Yeah, they are. It's one thing to try and create. It's one thing to try and do something positive with the ball. That was just working the perimeter. You can't get lazy on an entry pass.
Now Bibby and Big Country finishing off. 6 points Sacramento lead, and they will be able to hold for the final shot.
Good dribble penetration. Bibby's going to be able to do that. He beats you on the perimeter. He's going to go right at the basket. Another guy who can create for himself, so they have to respect that.
Now Ollie with 8 seconds will go to work. Williamson, nicely done with 2.9. Good to see Corliss Williamson get back on track. 3 of 6 here. Reeves at the horn. No. And so an outstanding first quarter in front of the hometown fans. 12 minutes in the books. 28-20 Sacramento. Good first quarter, Jim Kozimor.
Yeah, it certainly was, Grant. The reason that the shooting percentage is so high for the Kings is because they're getting good looks. A lot of transition baskets. They gave up some of those in game one. This time they're taking some from Vancouver, converting when they get close. You know, I'll tell you, before the ball game, Byron Scott was working with Jason Williams and some of the guards, and I've got to think if you've got someone with the wealth of knowledge that a Byron Scott has, you certainly are going to be a sponge in just trying to listen to what he has to say, and that guy's using that knowledge.
Well, Jason Williams, 4 points. No assist in that first quarter, but that's extremely misleading.
Yeah, it really is, because he kept the ball moving. He kept everyone involved in things. There's so many good passers, though. I think at times this team maybe passes too much. Some guys ought to look to shoot the ball a little bit more, but that is a deceiving total of 0.
All right, DeJuan Wheat in the backcourt. He is joined by Felipe Lopez, Smith, Abdur Rahim, and Reeves rounding out the front line. I think Reeves may have gotten away with a walk, and Michael Smith able to bank it home.
Yeah, it was a nice little dump-off pass to Smith, but he definitely did shuffle the feet in that lane. And Big Country, though, another nice passer for this Vancouver ball club, and if he's got some guys moving, he can find them.
Stojakovic, nice pass to Weber! Peja Stojakovic, and I like him when he's playing the 2-guard position, which is the case right now. He's got a huge advantage offensively.
Boy, he sure knows what to do when he senses a double team coming over. He can spot an open guy and get him that basketball quickly. And, you know, he's working on his defensive end as well.
Sacramento by 8 here in the second quarter. Now Abdur Rahim. And Weber with a great job of boxing out on Michael Smith. Ollie in the backcourt with Stojakovic. Miller, Weber, Williamson on the forward line. And Corliss could not finish it. Michael Smith. He'll pass. Well, maybe not. I was going to say maybe he's been working all offseason on his offensive game, but he's a hustler. He's a defensive guy. Not able to connect that time. And you see the reach-in foul there on Vancouver, and now the Kings will make wholesale substitutions.
Boy, Peja Stojakovic comes in as a shooter, but he can handle the ball. He sensed where that double team was, and that was Michael Smith coming over, which meant Chris Webber was going to be left loose. And that's a good feel between the two players who haven't played together for a long time. A real nice quick feed for the flush.
Well, Jason Williams back in along with John Barry. Kings have Vlade Divac with Peja Stojakovic. Tarek Abdul ahead. You see the three by Peja Stojakovic.
Wow. What more can you say? Good range, nice catch and shoot.
Kings with their largest lead of the ball game. And that's why you want Abdul Rahim to beat you from the outside. Play off of him. When he takes you to the basket, he's dangerous.
You're absolutely right. He's got a very quick first step. And Brian Hill does a good job of putting Abdul Rahim in positions where he can use his athleticism. At 6'9", he can still handle the basketball well. And that time he was able to just get the Tarek on his hip. And when he sensed that, he was able to get right to the cylinder. I like this Abdul Rahim.
Pete Chilcutt has checked in. Originally a draft pick by the Sacramento Kings. 33-25. 10 minutes, 10 seconds left here in the first half.
Hey, Chili Pete on the floor. He's got a championship ring from his days with the Rockets.
Divac. He waits for the double. He doesn't see it, so he goes to work. Now Abdul Rahim posting, but instead Wheat fires the air ball. Next time, I think he'd be better off passing it to Abdul Rahim.
Yeah, I think you're right. If I'm a young point guard, I'm probably going to try and find number 3 as much as I can.
Timeout. We'll take the break. This word brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Featured matchup tonight, Jason Williams for the Kings, Mike Bibby for the Grizzlies.
And everyone's getting to see some good things out of these two great first-year guards. Bibby has good passing, and he's got some guys who run the floor, and he uses them well. But another guy who can't create for himself is Jason Williams, and that forces the defense to think about him. It means he can leave nice nifty passes, and the Kings have been able to finish and get good transition baskets. And it's because of this guy, Jason Williams. He's gotten the attention of not only the opposition, but everyone around the NBA. They want to know about Jason Williams.
They're finding out in a hurry. Mike Bibby on the bench. Second quarter action. Williams and Barry with Stojakovic. Abdul ahead and Divac. For the Kings with a small lineup. Divac with a nice move.
Veteran feeling that youngster on his hip, and it's a big youngster, but he squeezed inside of Reeves and was able to knock down that little layup.
Not too many people squeeze behind Reeves, do they?
No, they don't.
35-25, the Kings up by 10. Chilcutt, he's got good range. Not this time. And you see the foul, Reeves into the face of Stojakovic.
That was a long rebound, and that time Reeves took him a little while to get off his feet. By then, Peja already physically was onto the ball, and then Big Country banged into him. Ooh, little forearm right there by Jason Williams. Wants a little space from Duane Wheat.
We have played 3 minutes of the second quarter, and the Kings looking to add to their 10-point lead. Tark. Good to see Tark hit the open jumper. He took only 4 shots Friday night. He was 1 of 4. That basket right there by Tark gives him 2 baskets and 3 opportunities.
You know, you're really right, Grant. I think teams are going to force Tark to show that he can hit that shot.
Big Country with a nice move in the paint. And the lead back to 10.
Yeah, but staying on Tark, if he can hit that shot, that little layup there, he's going to force the defense to come out on him, which will give him that chance to use his creativity and athletic ability. So, boy, he really needs to be able to connect on open ones.
Well, at 6'6", he can post as he did right there. Sacramento by 12. And Tark called for the foul.
Boy, that's real nice by Jason Williams to identify as he sees everything up. As Abdul Wahed set that screen, and that's what enabled him to get loose. So many times guys set picks, and they don't turn and look for the basketball. Tarek did that time, and Jason Williams, this guy's got eyes that are just riveting all over the place. He sees everything when he's coming up that floor. He actually had 2 open guys. Tarek was pointing to Vlade, who was open.
Tark with his third personal. He may have to come out of the ball game. And now Rick Adelman goes to the bench and has Corliss Williamson slowly walking to the scorer's table, but he did not get there in time. Now Ken Mauer's going to let him in. Ken Mauer, also a big wrestling fan. And he and Corliss, when they're not working, banter back and forth about the WWF.
Now, who's his favorite wrestler, do you know?
No, I wouldn't even know the name of wrestler, period.
Really?
Other than Hulk Hogan.
Oh, come on. There are a lot of good ones.
I'm not into that circuit, Coz.
You like the WCW? Or are you into the roller jam now?
Yeah,
roller derby.
Absolutely, that's me, absolutely.
I love the roller derby.
Oh, Big Country. Picking up the missed free throw. Hard to believe the Kings have not been to the line yet, Jim, and we've had 4 minutes elapsed in the second quarter.
And they've gone to the basket a lot, too. A lot of times you get bumped and you end up with a couple of freebies.
Stojakovic. Nice draw and kick. Let's show the range of D-box. Nope, a little too strong. And Peja in a fresh shot clock. 7:40 left here in the first half. Sacramento by 11. Williamson. He'll go to the line. Speaking of not going to the line yet tonight, the Kings will step to the charity stripe for the first time in the ball game.
Real nice job by the Kings that time. They found something they liked, and that was Corliss on the wing, and they want to get him a good open shot or a good look at the basket, so they cleared out for him. Peja did a nice job of staying outside of that lane area and giving Corliss some room to maneuver. He's stronger than Pete Chilcutt, and he was able to get inside on him, and he earns those free throws.
Well, I'll tell you, Friday night, the line was a sore point. You see Mike Bibby coming back in. Kings shot just 45% from the free throw line on Friday night, and Corliss missing the first.
Well, you know, Grant, we've seen that in some of the other games in the NBA, and I think a lot of it is fatigue. Guys are tired, they get lazy. When they get lazy, they take things for granted, and free throws are one of them, and teams cannot do that. These lose you ball games if you start missing. There's a pair missed by Corliss.
Well, the starting backcourt in for Vancouver, Mike Bibby, Sam Mack. 39-28. And a illegal defense is called by Sacramento. It's their first. So it's just a warning that next time it will be a technical foul. Hey, the next time the Kings win at Arco, save your ticket stub. It's worth a free Western Bacon Cheeseburger with a regular Coke purchase.
See Rick Adelman down there on the sideline, and this guy is really trying to drum defense, team defense, into his players' heads. Good pass.
Indeed.
And Big Country gets that jam. Now that's a nice feed by Sam Mack. Normally he tries to get open and set his feet. That time he just a little touch pass once he got it flicked it to the big fella for the stuff.
39-30, and now Williams had to take it away, and Vancouver looks to run. Oh, Bibby showing the acceleration. Nicely done. That's a good way to have your first NBA basket. Mike Bibby, beautiful full length of the court move. Now the Kings got careless, trying to throw through a crowd. The lead is 7. Bibby takes a bump, and it counts. He'll go to the line looking for the three-point play.
You get that first hoop, and you feel a little bit more comfortable. Bibby has done that. And you know what I like about it? He saw what he had defensively, and then he challenged the big fella. He's not afraid of 7-1. He went right at him, and that gave him confidence the next time down, and now he gets a free throw.
Timeout, 39-34, Kings with the lead. 34, the Kings on top here in the second quarter. Tonight's instant replays are brought to you by the Money Store. Coach?
Well, Mike Bibby had confidence on the one drive, and the next trip up the floor, he felt like taking the smaller guy. This time he was going to take it at Jason Williams, and he had that little step and had that runner in the lane. That's a tough little shot to hit. But again, when a point guard can make himself a threat on offense, that forces the defense to look at him. Good numbers in college, but now it's a whole new ball game, and he really has to prove himself at this level. And by making little moves like that where he scores, that forces teams around the league to see that. Boy, I'm telling you, it's going to open it up for Big Country. It's going to open it up for Abdul Rahim. It's going to open it up for Sam Mack on a kick out, because anytime you got dribble penetration, you got room for a kick out. And Sam Mack is as good as any in the league at setting the feet and shooting the long one.
And I think Bibby threw his first stint. He had no points. He's hyped up. It's his first NBA game. Coach sat him down for 3 minutes, put him back in. He seems more relaxed and he's going to the offense. Now the double team on Weber, and Big Country swats it away.
Hey, that's a good double team. Don't double team with little guys. Double team a big man with the big man. And Reeves came over. If you double Chris Weber with a guard, he's not even going to notice it. He's just going to spot the open players. That's a smart double team.
Vancouver on a 7-0 run. It's a 4-point Kings lead. Williamson sets the screen. Now able to pump out. And a 24-second violation. Now that time, Corliss passed up a 15-foot wide-open jumper to try to take it to the goal.
Well, here's a guy who's had his trouble scoring. He missed a couple of free throws, losing some confidence. And let me tell you something. For the Kings, it's a good thing they had the 24-second violation. It's a 3-on-1 jailbreak for the Grizzlies if they don't hear that whistle blow.
We approach the halfway mark of the second quarter. Grant Napier, Jim Kozimor, the Kings and the Grizzlies from Arco. Ben Williamson forcing Sharif to play on the outside. Chilcutt, short. Vancouver doing a much better job here in the second quarter of getting back in transition. Now Barry and Chilcutt, nice job to pick it off. Good anticipation, and it's 2-on-2 the other way. Bibby, nice defense by Jason Williams. And now transition. It's a 4-on-3 as Bibby gets back. Barry's fouled and one of the line for 2.
That's a nice job by John Barry. He sensed what was around him, and that time he just didn't see anything that was a for sure except for the move to the basket. That's where you draw the defense. Now, Jason Williams at the other end starts it because he plays good defense. He learned from that last foul call. He learned what to do. Just go straight up in the air. Don't go up to try to block it. Just make Mike Bibby have to shoot a tougher shot. He did that the other day against Avery Johnson. He's already learned quickly how to play some NBA defense.
Now the Kings 0 of 3 from the line.
And this guy can really stroke him.
And finally, Kings break through from the stripe. They lead by 5. 5:20. Time remaining second quarter. Bibby 2 of 8 shooting. He's got 4 assists. You see the double on Reeves. And Weber blocks it from behind. And Divac comes up with the loose ball. Numbers the other way. Weber with the third.
They love that here at Arco, baby. They are liking getting out and running. And that's because there's so many good passers. That forces people to beat one another up the floor and get a good look.
Now Reeves forcing it. Gets it back, though. Keeps the lead to 5.
Now, Big Country got those long arms, keeping it alive. Sometimes if you can't grab the basketball, it's not bad to tip it up. Knock it off the glass. See if you can just keep it alive and volleyball it. Sooner or later, you might get your mitts on it.
Nice pass by Weber out of the double team to leave Barry open with a triple. Nice play by Divac to get it back to Barry. Second time is the charm for John Barry, and give the credit there to Vlade Divac.
And there it is. Tip it. You can't get it, but tip it. Especially at that end, the offensive end. A little back tap always helps. Your guards are usually back there, and Barry caught it. I think he was angry he missed the first one. He went right back with a vengeance.
45-37, Chilcutt straight on 3. And Barry saves it from going out of bounds. Jason Williams, 4 points to Barry. And Divac with a step. And the lead is back to double digits, and Brian Hill and the Grizzlies want to talk about it. Timeout with 3:37 left. Fans coming to their feet here at Arco. They lead by 10. The Kings by 10. Vlade Divac working on a double-double. He's got 8 boards and 8 rebounds, or excuse me, 8 points and 8 rebounds already. And look at him go to work.
Yeah, here's a guy who gets inside, but he's real good at not only getting his own shot when he's able to feel that guy in his hip, he's able to get other people involved in what's happening. A real good passer. He gets Corliss a high percentage shot. He's a guy who is a double threat on the offensive end. Not just scoring in the post, also going outside, hitting the outside shot, but he's a very good passer.
Hey, he's got a realistic shot at a triple-double. He's got 6 assists as well to go along with those 8 points and 8 boards. Mack out of the timeout. Not able to connect. Williams with the step. Jason Williams, he's got 6. And the Kings go back up by 12.
How about that outlet pass, boy? You get out and run it. Passing's contagious. Good passing is even worse. At least it's worse for the opposition. And the Kings are showing how they can play as a team here tonight.
19 assisted baskets in the first half for Sacramento. Abdur-Rahim blocked by Weber. Here they come again. It's a 4-on-3. And a blocking foul, and that will send Chris Weber to the line for 2.
Boy, how much fun is he having? 6'10", galloping down the floor with the high dribble. Boy, this team's playing well as a full club, and that's a good job by Chris Webber with identification. He knows where his teammates are, and everyone on the Kings is looking for the point guard right away. Jason seems to know also when to release like he did that time for the hoop, or when to come back and get the ball, because, Grant, we don't see point guards do that enough.
Kings basketball brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to go places and do things you never thought possible. Fly Southwest Airlines.
Boy, everyone's having fun here tonight. Who is that? The
That's
Sheik
the
over
big
there on the
O,
left?
and on the right, Vernon Maxwell. And how about Chris Robinson? He's trying to get healthy and back in the lineup.
You know, the important thing for this young Kings team is that they get along so well off the floor. That's going to help them on the floor. That's the thing I like.
50-37. Sacramento, 59% shooting from the floor.
A lot different than Friday night. They're getting good looks at tonight. They're just executing a little bit better and hitting no shots.
Nice switch of the hands by Tony Massenberg. Now buried, cut off by Mack. 2.5 left. We're in the second quarter. And Williamson off the gorgeous slip by Webber. Webber with his 4th assist to go along with 13 points and 7 boards. He's doing it all here in the first half.
And a good job by Cordes. Get down where you're comfortable. Get yourself a nice easy hoop and get that confidence back. That was a real nice feed, and Cordes got to the right place.
8 on the 24 for the Grizzlies. And Parks with a new shot clock. And it's Divac. And again, the Kings break out. Barry with the step to Williamson. Oh, boy.
That's so pretty. When big boys run the floor, you reward them, and Cordes got it.
Good defense, and here they come again. Look at Vlade, the big guy. Divac. And he'll go to the line. And the fans, you talk about entertaining basketball. They love it tonight at Arco.
How many different guys can throw good, fun passes? John Barry sure can, and Cordes running the floor. He knows, as all the other big men know, if they can just get their sneakers up and down the floor, there's a good chance that they're going to be shooting layup and dunking on the opposition's head. All the big fellas know that, and I love to see the big guys out and running because they're better finishers. Let's face it.
Boy, if they could just hit their free throws. Oh, boy. 28% from the line are the Kings, 2 of 7.
You know, Rick Adelman's going to have him, I'm telling you, after the game, he's going to have him standing right out here shooting free throws if it stays like this.
Wow. 54-39. And again, the story of the game, the Kings passing 21 assisted baskets. They had 13 assists total Friday night in their loss at San Antonio. Abdul-Rahim. And the Kings will look to add on.
You know, Grant, you make a good point at how many assists this Kings team has tonight. And a lot of that is that first game jitters, just getting to know you.
Homer powers it home. He just used muscle to beat Cherokee Parks.
And talk about getting to know you, I think those two know each other quite well. That's a nice little play by Webber and Williams, and Chris doing a real nice job. He almost had himself a stuff right there.
Kings on an explosion here to end the second quarter. And Abdul-Rahim draws the foul.
Well, a lot of the NBA is two-man game, whether it's pick and roll or backdoor cutting, but Webber freed up a little bit that time, and Jason, he knew it. He could just sense that Chris had freed up and was diving to the basket. The big fella going to the hoop, just put it up there near the rim, because I'll tell you, a guy like Webber's either going to catch him stuff, he's going to catch, come down, go up strong, he's going to lay it up off the glass. He's real nice around the basket with the good hands, and I'll tell you, Jason Williams just knows where to put the basketball for his teammates. He's going to have a lot of friends, and a lot of guys going to be buying him dinner.
Abdul-Rahim makes his first. Again, you cannot understate the importance of these 3 home games in the month of February. 9 more on the road. And the Kings up by 15.
It sounds strange, but a second game of the year is a must-win. It is because of this season. It's unusual. It's unorthodox, and they've got to get victories in games like this.
Nice job by Parks to help out defensively. 15 on the shot clock. 24 in the game clock, and the Kings will call a 20-second timeout. Kings on top, 56-41. We'll come back for the final 24 seconds. Well, there's two of the diehard Kings fans. A lot of youngsters at the game tonight. You got to love these 6 o'clock starts on Sundays. You get the kids out and they have a ball at the game.
Yeah, they're having fun. All the kids are having fun. Uh-oh. You better watch it. I'm going to come on over there and have some of that cherry ice she's got going. The kids always having fun right here at Arco Arena. And you get 3 chances for fun in this month. That's it, just 3.
That's it.
So have a lot of it tonight, kids.
Final seconds of the first half. Weber. And now Vancouver with the final opportunity. 30 points will go to work. Weber blocked it. And that will do it. An outstanding first half of basketball in the Kings home opener. Jason Williams running the show and throwing to the big guys like Corliss, Vlade. Rick Adelman's got to be happy with the first 24 minutes. The Kings on top, 56-41.
Nelly in the Bay Area, and some people are saying that, or still say, that Chris Webber caused problems there. I tend to maintain that even though Chris Webber was young at the time, Don Nelson maybe misplayed certain things in that little twosome as well.
Rick Adelman, of course, came over from the Golden State Warriors after taking the Trailblazers to the NBA Finals twice. Chris Webber with an outstanding first half, 15 points, 7 boards, 4 assists. Boy, he did it all in that first 24 minutes.
You know, people are going to look and see if Chris Webber really wants to be here in Sacramento, and they're going to look and see at his numbers. But you can't tell in his first 2 games, Grant, that there's any drop-off. This guy has come to play. He has told everyone he's going to play hard while he's here in Sacramento, and he's done just that, and everyone should be happy about it because it has been a lot of fun watching him.
Well, Chris Webber's father in attendance, sitting courtside. And good to see him here for the first time, and his son putting on a show. Kind of like that. I mean, I like seeing the parents, particularly when you look at the history of Chris Webber, and he missed training camp the first day. He had a long talk with his dad, and it set him right. And since that point in time, after the first 24 hours, Chris Webber has done everything and more that's been asked of him. He has been an angel. And I'll tell you, when you have a guy like Jason Williams who can create, he can penetrate, and an athletic team to go along with Tarek and the rest of the guys, hey, it's fun when the basketball is zipping around the floor.
And it proves to a guy like Chris Webber that this team is here to play for real. This isn't the same old Sacramento Kings that used to come treading into different arenas. This team can do some damage, and this unit on the floor has been fun in the first 24 minutes.
All right, Sacramento will start on defense to begin the third quarter. Abdur-Rahim on the front line with Cherokee Parks and Massenberg. Bibby and Mack the backcourt. Boy, Abdur-Rahim got away with a palm there and really carried that basketball coming across the lane. Last touch, but just 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Now you got to continue to play the good defense. Don't give up a cheap foul right here. I know you might think that that should be your ball, but play some tight defense. You only got 2 more seconds to toughen it up.
Mack has to hurry. And good defense. Like the first half, the Kings come out running. Williamson was off balance, but Divac, no. Williamson, no. And the Kings will yet get another opportunity.
But guys going after the basketball, they're being aggressive, and that's where they are trying to pick up from what they did in the first half. So many times you'll see teams try to change things, but no, they ran in the first half, they're going to run in the second half. And keep going at it. Vlade's going at it. There was Tarek around the basketball. Corliss missed the first shot. He's going to try again.
Williams not able to connect from the baseline. So it stays at 15 points, Sacramento lead. Just underway here in the third quarter. Now Bibby with the shot clock winding down. Parks. And the Kings now will start 4 on 3. Good decision there by Webber not to rush it.
Yeah, the Kings didn't spread the floor that time, and he noticed it, so he didn't force things. I like that identification.
Oh, nice pass. Wallace Williamson to Chris Webber. He's got 2 more. And I'll tell you, Brian Hill didn't like that defense. He stops the clock. 10:35 left, timeout Vancouver. And the Kings have extended their lead 58-41. The largest lead of the ball game at 58-41. Kings will hit the road on Tuesday, and we'll have it for you. It will be on Fox Sports Bay Area, 6 o'clock. Jason Kidd and the Phoenix Suns entertaining the Kings. 6 o'clock start Tuesday on Fox Sports Bay Area. Also, you can listen to the game with the radio voice of the Sacramento Kings, Gary Gerald, on Sports 1140, KHTK, and the Kings Radio Network. Now it's all Sacramento thus far. Now Parks from 17. Vancouver not shooting the ball well, but Massenberg not going to miss from point-blank range. 32.5% shooting for the Grizzlies. Had a chance for a three-point play.
Boy, what is it about this guy Massenberg? He plays like an all-star against the Sacramento Kings. He does a good job of gaining position inside, and then he steadies himself. He doesn't try to tip it when he's inside. He grabs that basketball with two hands, sets himself, goes up strong, and finishes. That's when you're going to get your three-point play, when you're going to force yourself up with strength through the defense.
Massenberg not able to connect on the free throw. 58-43. Weber with a backdoor look, put it in the book, and send him to the line. Weber fighting Williamson, knifing across the lane.
Oh, boy, this Weber can really dish. That was a fine feed. And again, it's big guys cutting and slicing. Weber saw it, but give credit to Corliss because he saw that he had a step on his man, and he charged down that lane. Some guys cut, and they don't do it with aggression. He does, and got the 2+1.
61-43. Largest lead of the contest. Grizzlies back home tomorrow for their home opener against the Portland Trailblazers. Bibby with the side pop. And numbers the other way. Weber finishing it off. Boy, is this team fun to watch in the open court.
Boy, it sure is. And that was a smart play by Corliss to get it in the hands of Jason Williams. He knows he's the point guard. Even though it was on the left side of the floor, the wide side, it created more things.
Now Park posting. A lot of banging there. And a travel. Turnover.
Oh, you see, when you're running the basketball, ideally you like it in the middle. But get it in the hands of the guy who passes the best. That's Jason Williams. He goes up to shoot. We talked about it in the first half. He's shown he can score. Defense has to come out on him. That means a guy diving down the lane gets a layup.
20-point Sacramento lead. Divac sets the screen for Williams. And it will go to Vancouver. Hey, the J.C. Penney Kings Caravan is back this Saturday, February 13th. Rookies Jason Williams and Jerome James will be at the J.C. Penney in Sunrise Mall from 3:30 to 5. Then join Corliss Williamson at the J.C. Penney in Arden Fair from 5:30 to 7. That's Saturday, February 13th.
Little half-court pressure being applied by the Kings.
And now they exchange possessions in close. Abdul Rahim, nice job posting, and he goes glass to finish it off. (63-45). Kings looking for their first victory of the season. Nice look to Tarr. And Weber controlling things. Chris Weber doing the work underneath on the offensive glass.
Boy, see, that's just being strong right there. Knowing where you are on the floor, and once you get that offensive rebound, if you feel you got it, you go right back up strong.
Now the foul called on Chris Weber, the crab foul.
Chris Weber, his
third foul on Weber, second team foul of the third quarter. Third quarter action, over 8 minutes left. Nice draw and kick by Bibby. That left that to a Rahim open. But again, that's all right. You want him shooting those 20-foot jumpers. You don't want to have him take you off the dribble.
You're right. Keep him out there. Let him stand up and force him to hit those shots first. Don't give him a lot more inside.
Williamson, not the range there. Corliss 6 of 16 shooting here. Boy, that was a foul on Abdullah Head that was not called.
Yeah, right there in the open court that time. Bibby got hooked, but the whistle never came, and then Bibby tried to create something out of it. He thought they'd get a cutter, but Abdul Wahed, You can't get caught reaching. That time he got away with one, but don't think you can do that every time, Tarek. You've got to make sure you're playing good team defense. Get into a space and make sure you're active, but don't try to swing into a guy with your arms.
65-47 Sacramento. 7 minutes, 30 seconds left in the third. Shot clock winding down. And Tarek Abdul-Wahid got the shoulder square close and just a very nice stroke.
That right there is going to do wonders for his overall game because of his athleticism. That means guys will come out to guard him on the perimeter.
And they're going to call a foul on Vlade Divac. For Divac, that's going to be his third personal.
Well, the Kings looked aggressive there, double teaming in the open court that time. I like to see the team defense get out and double team every once in a while. That forces the opposition to show what they can do in those circumstances. I think the young Vancouver team has a harder time identifying it and reacting to it.
Well, the WNBA and the Sacramento Monarchs are back for another exciting summer of women's professional basketball. Check out the new and improved season ticket package on sale now. Call area code 916-419-WNBA. That's 419-WNBA and become a Monarchs member today. How about Cherokee Park's been visiting the tattoo parlor a little bit in the offseason. Got it bloody elbow, and normally you've got to go right off and have that taken care of.
Yeah, you got to throw a little bandage around that, a little infectious contact. But boy, oh boy, there you see the cut. Just throw a little bandage on that thing. He'll be fine. But what about the tattoos around the guy's neck, on his back? Look at that. You can see him. He's got something on his right calf that looks like hieroglyphics he's got there.
And now they'll have Parks go off for a little repair.
Boy, not only cover that bloody spot, cover some of those tattoos, Jeremy. At what point does somebody say that makes me look better? Is he going for a bad boy thing? The hair getting a little longer, the sideburns growing? Would Mike Krzyzewski have let the guy do that?
Well, I'll tell you, Cherokee Park's background, his parents in that era of the 60s were quite interesting. We chronicled it with Cherokee Parks before, his background, very interesting, but you're right. That's not the Coach K look, that's for sure. 67-49. Now Max stops, pops, and hits from downtown.
And now you see feet set, he's going to have a better opportunity. Make Sam Mack put it on the floor and create for himself.
Williams not able to answer back from three. 67-52, but Williams steals. Oh, he tried to wrap it around for Weber, and Weber not ready for it. Weber actually reached back and said, hey, that's a great play, Jason. That's my fault, buddy.
Forget it. If that thing is done, that is just the first move is off the steal, the behind the back to himself, and then the behind the back.
Oh,
forget it.
That's
stop.
Amazing.
Yeah, just stop it right there because that's just too much for everyone to comprehend right now.
I don't know if I've ever seen that move by anybody in the NBA.
Oh.
Abdur-Rahim, and again, make him shoot from the outside. Nice entry pass, Williamson. Weber, he can feel it. Chris Weber, he's got 23 points. Boy, does he look good tonight. Chris Weber, double-double in the opener against San Antonio, and right now they lead at 69-52. And Weber broke it up. Williams not able to save it. He goes flying into the stands.
Wow, that's something. Now, Chris Weber is feeling it, as you said, Grant, and he felt the big country was there. He knows the big fella's a little slow of foot, so he's just going to take it on the drive, and there's no one else helping to challenge for the Vancouver Grizzlies, and that's why the Kings are able to complete. They're getting into that lane, and that second defender isn't coming out to try and challenge.
Tarek Abdul-Wahid picked up his fourth. He comes out. Peja Stojakovic is in. I think it's time for a little Peja Stojakovic show in front of the hometown fans.
Oh, that'd be very nice. Get a little confidence as you have to get out on the road, because this is a very tough week for the Kings, and this game is very important to them, not only in the record book, but in the confidence book.
Next 3 games on the road: Phoenix, followed by Houston, and then Utah. Big country.
Hey, that's a pass to yourself.
It sure is. Well, I think Weber may have gotten a piece of it. If not, the answer to your question would be no.
Exactly. That's the only thing I could imagine is that a King got a hand on it. but looked like the thing squirted out like a bar of soap, and then he caught it and shot it in.
Now Weber. Divac splitting 2 Grizzlies, and it's knocked out of bounds off Vancouver. The story here with 4:46 left in the third, it's the Kings on top, 69-54.
Well, you mentioned the week for the Kings, Grant. It's going to be very difficult. Back-to-backs Tuesday and Wednesday, but then some time off to regroup and learn what you've done over the first 4 ball games. I like that start to the season.
Corliss Williamson, he's got 15. Sacramento shooting the ball very well at 53%.
A lot different than Friday, isn't it?
Big time.
And, you know, they had their looks on Friday. I really maintain it's just a getting to know you phase. Let's not be too worried when those things happen.
Michael Smith. New. Reeves, no. Alley-oop upcoming. And Bibby was able to break up the attempt to Weber. 18 on the shot clock.
All right, now with the Kings leading that big, you can make that type of pass. In a closer game, maybe you run it up on the dribble to make sure you get into your half-court set. But it's okay to try and do those things right now. Get it out of your system and also stretch your system. See what you can do as a team.
Bibby knocked it away, but now reaches in the second time and picks up the foul. First foul on Mike Bibby, the rookie, taken second overall in the draft.
I like him. I like what I've seen out of this guy tonight. Very calm, very collected. It's a very good point guard.
Timeout Sacramento. We'll be back. 4 minutes left in the third. And the Kings on top big. No one told me the best parts and auto parts now coming to Sacramento. Chris Webber's in the zone. 23 points. Red hot from the floor. 11 of 15. 10 rebounds. 6 blocks. And you know what else? He's passing the basketball. 5 assists for Chris Webber.
How about his all-around game, Grant? This guy just absolutely does everything. Offensively, he knows how to take it to the basket. Everyone knows he can score, but you point out such a good passer, and that's helping make other things possible for himself when you can get your teammates involved. Boy, it's just such a special night. You've pointed to the team assists already so many times, and you should point that out, because this is the type of thing you're going to want to continue to drum into your team's mind how well you played together.
Stojakovic to Webber. That was broken up a little bit by Reeves, and Stojakovic, right place at the right time. Now you see the trap on Bibby. Nice job by Williamson. Making Abdur-Rahim beat him from the outside. Numbers the other way. Williams to finish. Jason Williams, and the Kings up by 21.
Now that was real nice. The defender back, Sam Mack, he didn't know whether to play the guy without the ball or to play the ball that time, and it's because Jason can finish so well. And so he really just stood there, and his only job was getting it out of the iron.
Reeves from Bibby. Nice move by Big Country. Good footwork in the paint. Reeves coming off the bench tonight has 12 points and 7 rebounds. Now Stojakovic. Little off balance on that jumper.
Little bit of individual play. I wouldn't mind seeing the Kings stay with that system and the guys getting to know one another now.
Now Bibby a little short. Williams and the rookies right at one another. Williams stops, pops. Yes! How about that?
Oh my, do you believe what just happened out there? He skipped about 3 feet in the air, lifted his legs, kicked them out, and came back down and shot a jumper. Even the Kings bench is excited about it.
Looks like a deer running through the forest. Seattle, by the way, came back and beat Portland up in Seattle tonight. Big Country from 17. Divac, he's got Webber. Williams tees up a 3-ball. That would have brought the house down. Now Nevers the other way. Boy, the Vancouver Grizzlies look awfully tired right now.
Yeah, they sure do.
Divac off the rejection. Williamson running the floor. And Sam Mack with the foul, and Williamson will go to the line and shoot 2.
This is a special group right here with so many guys who can play well together. All I can say is enjoy.
Standing ovation. Jason Williams comes off in front of 17,000 standing fans.
This is just amazing. He can pass, he can score, and the big fellas know he can do both. He's in the open court. The defense right now is just looking at him saying, oh, goodness gracious. When he comes down on the charge, when he's pulling the reins on that break, the defender's eyes are getting real big as if to say, uh-oh. And, man, this guy's causing trouble.
Hey, it's McDonald's Family Night on Friday, February 19th, when the Kings host the Hornets. For as little as $39.96, you'll get 4 tickets for McDonald's meals, a basketball, and a Kings cap. Call 928-8138 during regular business hours. That's 928-8138 during regular business hours. The reach-in foul on Sacramento.
Boy, that kid is so special right there. Sure, he's got the 10 points, but how many points did he give this team in enthusiasm, in excitement, in entertainment? And it means something that he can do all those various things. And, man, it's going to be a special era of Kings basketball right now.
Everything is so new. He was telling us before the game, he's from a small town in West Virginia. He has not traveled around the country. He's never been to San Francisco. First trip to San Antonio. He'll go to Houston for the first time as John Barry comes in. Chris Webber. He gets a great hand as he comes off.
Hey, he deserves it. He's been a champ. Now, I want to get back to Jason Williams coming from that small town. I think the Kings ought to send a few more scouts to that small town if they all got moves like this kid does. Keep that town a secret.
Quite a story with he and Randy Moss, good friends, went to Marshall together for a couple of years before Jason transferred. And Randy Moss, the story of the year in the National Football League. Well, Jason Williams could be the story in terms of rookie of the year. Oliver Miller with the tip.
Oh, everyone's getting involved.
80-58, largest lead of the ball game. Nice pass to Lopez, and Oliver Miller meets him at the pass. That's like running into a big-time brick wall right there.
Boy, it certainly is. It'll be interesting to see what Felipe Lopez can do when he gets his opportunities. As big Oliver Miller came away with that foul. Now, nice play by Mike Bibby, sensing just havoc around him, knowing there are a lot of white jerseys, and he was able to spot that one teammate who earns the free throws. And now it's a guy who, well, what was it, 4 years ago, Grant? This kid was on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Hey, you talk about Oliver Miller. It looks like Nate Newton of the Cowboys playing basketball. He's got that big body, boy.
Boy, he sure does. Hey, when he seals a guy off, he really seals a guy off. He's got a lot of space. He takes it up right there.
Minute left, third quarter.
He's like the one kid on your block who grew up faster than everyone else. He just keeps growing. He kept growing. Look how big he is. Man.
Oh, nice move by Stojakovic. And Williamson with the left-hand tip.
Right now, it's like the game is being played downhill for the Kings. Everything's going in that one direction. They're running fast, and it looks like Vancouver's got to go uphill every time they're coming up the floor.
82-60, Sacramento. 8 on the shot clock. Fans like the defense. Oh, Wheat earned that shot. Sometimes you just have to tip your hat. That was good defense by Ollie.
Yeah, it certainly was. He was right out in his face, and Wheat knew he had to get one up. He did a nice job of finishing.
Final seconds, third quarter, shot clock off. The clock you see is the game clock. Ollie. And at the horn, if it goes, nope, he didn't get it off in time. 12 minutes of basketball left here from Sacramento. And the Kings in control, leading at 82-62. 12 minutes left here from Arco. And the Kings on top. Jason Williams putting on a show, Jim Kozamore.
Boy, he certainly is. He does so many things. He can finish on his own, and then when he has defenders around him, they have to get their eyes wide open because he can also attack a guy. Give the Kings credit for passing, but he's special as well. As stopping on that dime and hitting the outside shot in transition. Not only going to the basket, but scoring from the outside. When you're a double threat like that, defenses just don't know how to play you. Super overall game for Jason Williams, and I'm telling you, they should start giving some entertainment points to guys. He'd be building up a bunch of them.
Well, a lot of people opened their eyes when Jason Williams went as low as number 7. I think right now people around the league, and particularly some general managers, are wishing that they had tapped Jason Williams is their draft pick before the Kings had a chance to grab him.
Hey, Jeff Petrie and the guys are saying thank you very much for passing him over. We're very happy you did.
Miller, a little fancy pass, and it results in the turnover. Sasser. Let's set the lineups for you. Kevin Ollie, John Barry in the backcourt. Oliver Miller, Peja Stojakovic, Corliss Williamson downstairs. Ollie almost turned it over and does. Sasser and Wheat out there with Big Country. Michael Smith. And Felipe Lopez rounding out the 5 on the floor for Brian Hill. 10 on the shot clock. Smith to set the pick. And a moving pick. The foul called on Michael Smith.
Well, the Vancouver Grizzlies are trying to work on some things, even with their second unit on the floor, and I think that's good. That time the execution not great. But Brian Hill has to teach this team how to win. They're very young. Execution's very important. Once they get that down, then winning becomes the next step. But he's got some good young pieces to the Grizzly puzzle.
Stojakovic off the curl. A long two. Nope, they're going to say he was beyond the line. Three-pointer by Peja Stojakovic.
Oh, boy. Coming off the screen, popping way out like that, hitting the three. How do you defend that?
You can't. Lopez with some daylight, and Oliver Miller with the reach-in foul. Some guests appearing on Kings broadcast receive gift certificates from Tower Records Video and Books, where you'll find a difference of selection every day till midnight.
Well, that's a real nice cut that time by Felipe Lopez. He came up and around a pick, and instead of coming out and catching the ball and then turning, he came around a screen, and then he kept coming. Caught the ball and went right back down the lane. A lot of times guys don't take that advantage. They've got a defender coming out. Now turn it back up and just blow by him.
Lottie and the gang having a great time thus far, leading it by 20. Big week coming up for Sacramento. They hit the road Tuesday and Wednesday. Come home for a few days of practice, and they're right back at it again Monday in Utah. All 3 of those are TV games.
We look forward to watching the growth of this Kings team. We've seen incredible strides made between Friday and today, Grant. I'd like to see how they can build on that in this little stretch against Phoenix and Houston.
Stojakovic trying to beat the horn. Look at that hard work. And out of bounds, and Sacramento's hard work pays off.
Now, what did I tell you earlier? If you can't get it, tap it off the glass. Keep it alive. You never know what might happen, and usually it's something good. And, you know, speaking of something good, boy, the Kings are going to bring on the arsenal, the heavy weaponry.
You know, Coach, I talked about it with you during the Open about I think it's an advantage with only 2 weeks of training camp to have a game under your belt. Vancouver with their first game tonight, and they do look rusty, and I think Sacramento getting that action Friday in San Antonio was paid off.
There's no question that just that one game has meant so much. Hey, Ollie Miller.
Yep. Oliver Miller with the putback, 87-66.
A little trap going on there. Weber doing the trapping, and then a good rotation.
Barry's got trailers. Doesn't need him. He draws the foul. Ooh, nice job, Barry. And let's hope the cameraman down below is all right.
Boy, Barry had to be quite an athlete and an acrobat to get over the top of that cameraman that time.
Actually, camera woman, I think. Timeout. We'll take it. 9 minutes, 44 seconds left in the ball game. And the Kings, 87. Grizzlies, 66. Carl's Jr. game summary. Chris Webber, 23 points, 11 rebounds for his second straight double-double. See the Kings front court dominating. Grizzlies shooting 35%, just 13 assists. And the Kings with a whopping 32 assists.
Well, that's fantastic. It's all team play. Team defense is making the Grizzlies have tougher opportunities to score. Their shooting percentage down. Kings front court playing as a team, passing the basketball. Guys up front getting their opportunities and getting some points. I really like the total effort tonight, Grant. I think this team really made major strides.
Barry makes the first. Kings 5 of 12 now from the free throw stripe. Sacramento Kings basketball brought to you in part by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. 89-66. Fourth quarter action. And Weber got a piece of that out of bounds off Williams. That's outstanding team defense. And look at the enthusiasm there by Weber and Miller.
Well, that's great to see. Everyone playing together. And sure, right now you're way up, but build on the positive. That's a very key situation. When you're doing it well, continue to do it well and learn from it.
8 blocks for Weber. I'll tell you, he's very close to a triple-double tonight, Chris Weber. Rick Adams, I'm sure you could hear him in the background calling out for four side. Double screen for Stojakovic, but Vancouver stays with him. Barry in a crowd. 2 on the shot clock. Williams at the horn, had to rush it and didn't get much on it. 4 on 3 as Barry hustles back in transition. Wheat with an angle 3. Nice rotation. DeJuan Wheat makes it a 20-point deficit. 89-69, fourth quarter. Now the pass picked off. Nice job by Williams to cut Wheat off. Too strong for Big Country. Weber with his 12th board. Vlade Divac at the scores table. He'll check in a moment. 10 on the 24. Barry. That's his forte, Coach. Shooting those long balls.
Yeah, real nice by the Kings to identify. There was a guy open on that skip pass, and boom. John Barry, it's a book him. He's got great range, great rotation.
And your father's Rick Barry. Let me tell you something. All the Barrys can shoot the basketball.
Well, they sure can. Up and down the family tree, they all get things done. And you see the big fella, Vlade Divac.
Well, he's had a nice all-around game. Let's see if he can maybe get a triple-double. He needs 2 assists, and he needs 1 basket.
You know, you include the preseason. We've seen Vlade the rebounder, Vlade the passer, and we saw Vlade the scorer. You know, here we're seeing Vlade the rebounder and defender again. I really like the way this guy is so versatile. And Jeff Petrie did a real smart thing. He knew he needed to get a center. He got the right center, who's so versatile he can do so many things to help you no matter what the night.
Wheat with 1 more. It's 92-70. Sharif Abdul-Rahim back into the game for Vancouver. Divac down low with Weber and Stojakovic. Williams and Barry the backcourt. 7:40 left, fourth quarter. Nice kick to Divac. Look at Weber. Chris Weber! Wow! That's just taking over the game. Oh! And the foul called, and Weber comes racing back. His eyes got wide because he thought he was going to be showtime.
You know, every once in a while, he's sneaking a peek at Daddy on the side, man. And he knows that he's got to play well for Papa, who's here in the building. And he just comes in with the power. You just come in with the big hammer, baby. And you see where he was looking off to his right? That's where his big man is right there.
He has 2 in him yet.
Chris Weber's dad, we told you, in attendance tonight, sitting courtside.
Yeah, he knows. Hey, his father told him at the start of the season. In fact, I like what he said at one point. He said, listen, you don't want to play? Give me your legs, because I'll take those young legs and run, baby.
Speaking of young legs, look at this. Wow. Stojakovic. This is fun right now. Kings fans are loving it.
Hey, when's the last time they were able to enjoy open court, fast break basketball like that, huh?
It's been a long time, partner.
Well, they better start enjoying it and getting used to it. This is just the start of things.
96-70. And they're going to call a 24-second violation. Timeout, Sacramento. 6:46 left. Fourth quarter, they're on their feet here at Arco. It's all Sacramento.
The defensive end. That's where you got to do all your damage, and that's what the Kings did with a poke away and then a breakout. Real quick, boom, fill the lanes, and it's Peja flushing it. Now, you see, that's how pretty it is. It all's got to start at that defensive end, and there are enough guys who are willing to get those young legs up and down the floor for the Kings.
Peja Stojakovic coming off the bench tonight. 5 of 8 shooting. He's got 12 points. Kings just destroying their opponent in the paint tonight.
Now that's good to see. The team's getting good looks. They got a couple of them against San Antonio. Get it behind you. Now you're completing them. Now you're gaining confidence. Execution going well. Confidence going well. Just keep building on the good.
Divac. Terry DeHare making his first appearance. Vlade running the baseline. 4 on the shot clock. Williams way outside. Oh, Jason Williams.
Good night.
26 feet away. Thank you very much.
Oh, baby, that was some kind of range.
Vlade Divac needs 1 field goal for a triple-double. 99-70. Reeves. Stojakovic. It's raining threes at the moment. Paces Stojakovic from downtown. 102-72 in a rout. Choked up with a nice touch. Well, let's see if Vlade can get one more basket, because Jerome James is at the bench and Divac needs 1 hoop for a triple-double.
Well, I'd like to see them identify it too. I'd really like to see them give Vlade that chance.
DeHare short-armed it. And that could be it for Vlade Divac. Yep. Vlade Divac. Jason Williams. Fans coming to their feet as they should.
Body to body, getting it done tonight. I like to see that.
And Bibby got too close to the basket. Stojakovic. 5 minutes left here in the 4th. DeHare parks from 3. And the Kings are still hustling. (102-74) Sacramento. Now they'll set up the half-court set. 10 on the shot clock. Peja. Now it's a 3-on-3. Oh, Bibby, right place at the right time, and he's got 9 points. And a 20-second timeout call by Sacramento. With 4:25 left, and the Kings in complete control, leading it 102-76.
Well, I don't know how a defense is supposed to defend against something like this. Clock winding down, they play defense for 20 seconds, and then a guy's about 26 feet out. I'm telling you, he was at J and 10th when he loaded that trigger up and fired it home. And boy, that other teams are going to look at the game film of this thing and say, who is this number 55, and how do we stop him? And I don't know if you can stop him. I think you can only try and shade him in certain areas, try to force him into certain places. But if you give him an open court, 94 by 50, to work his magic, that's when he's really going to give you trouble.
Well, he'll get a good test on Tuesday night when he's matched up with Jason Kidd.
You're right, because he's very aggressive, and he's physical as well. Jason more slightly built. We'll see how those two work against one another.
Weber is out of the game. Lopez, and he'll have an easy basket. Chris Weber, 1 block away and 2 assists away from a quadruple-double. That shows you the type of game he had. 25 points, 15 rebounds for Webb, 9 blocks, 8 assists, 3 steals. They're 4 minutes. Look at Peja with the left hand, but it was partially stopped by Reeves. Now Lopez with the angle pop. Ollie out there with Stojakovic, DeHare, Aluma, and James. Too strong. Now Jerome James showed some offense the other night against San Antonio. And again. And it counts. And he'll go to the line looking for one more.
Oh, how about the point with the big fella? had that first one go, and then boom, you get that second opportunity, and you do something with it. See, that ball gets knocked away, but had good poise, sensed what was around him, and took what was given. Boy, you know what I like about this game for the Kings? It's something they can build off. As far as I'm concerned, you take the first game, you burn the game tape. You take this game tape, make sure everyone gets a copy and they can watch it at home, show it to family members, because you want to just reinforce the positive. Too many times people focus on negative. Reinforce the good.
And you see the foul call. Of course, you know, hey, we're not trying to tell you that Vancouver is San Antonio. We know that the level of competition was different tonight. But you know what? At this point in the season, 2 weeks of camp, the bottom line is execution. That's what you're trying to do at the moment. Young ball club, execute, gel, get better with each game. And the Kings did that tonight.
They certainly did, because a lot of the circumstances that happened in this ball game against Vancouver will come up against Phoenix, will come up against Houston. Well, now that you know how to create against them, how to react to them, when these better, more athletic teams come up against you, at least you have a frame of reference, and I think that's what I like the most about the Kings' opportunity tonight.
Cherokee Parks coming in for Big Country.
You have tattoos like Cherokees?
No, as a matter of fact, I think he just had another one put on while he was on the bench.
That's what took so long for him to come back in.
Tark and Corliss. Kings bench enjoying this one. (104.79). 10 on the shot clock. And back the other way we come. 3-on-2. And DeHare stripped it away. DeHare, no contest.
You know, we've been talking about it. It starts on the defensive end. It starts with doing all you can to disrupt the opposition. Kings have done a lot of that tonight. This Vancouver team, still some growing pains. They're young, and they're learning. And they got some of their good names out there, like Bibby right here with a nice strong drive. Abdul Rahim still on the floor. They want these guys to get to know how to play with one another, because it'll really come out later in their careers.
2:34 left. Mandatory timeout. We'll come back for the finish with the Kings dominating. (28, 28, 26, 24). Doing the job offensively. Shut Vancouver down at the other end.
Yeah, they certainly did. And defense is the key. They're keeping that opposition to low totals throughout those quarters. And, you know, everyone's getting into the act, Grant. As we see the Kings going to the bench, it doesn't matter. It's starting at the one end, the defense, and everyone jumps into the act. And that's the thing I like about this team. Interchangeable parts. You go to the bench, you bring in a guy.
Yep.
He can play the 2, he can play the 3. Maybe he can sleep over and play that 1. That's very important for a team like the Kings. And once Rick Adelman and the staff get it all hashed out, they'll know exactly how this team will work the best.
Chris Webber with a mammoth game tonight. Well, Tom Gugliotta had 29 in Phoenix's win over Denver. Antonio McDyson, his return to Phoenix, had 28. But Phoenix wins at 115-108. Kings and Suns Tuesday. Fox Sports Bay Area is the place. 6 o'clock. We'll have it for you.
Googs, a wonderful addition to that Suns team. Quite a trade-off. You lose the one very athletic guy, McDyson, but you get a good one all around in Googs.
Well, Peter Aluma with the basket. 108-80. Now Chilcutt, foul line jumper. And here they come again. Stojakovic in the far wing, but now DeHare slows it up a little bit.
Big fella's looking for a cutter. Big fella's looking for someone to move. Ah, the heck with it.
Not able to finish it. Off for Pete Chilcutt. Now we talked about the matchup at the point. Wheat in. We talked about Mike Bibby in his debut. He'll end with 11 points and 9 assists.
You know, in the preseason, he had to go against Gary Payton, Damon Stoudemire. I bet he thought he had seen it all after those first 2. After tonight, he's got to be scratching his head going, where the heck did those moves come from?
No question. Nice draw and kick by Arcasia. DeHare thought he was fouled. Uh-oh, Terry Derrick. Nope, not hurt. I thought he might have been hurt. Gets back up, grimacing. Okay, out of bounds. Off of Sacramento. Now there's Mike Bibby, NBA debut. 3 of 14 shooting, struggled from the field. 9 assists, though. And this young man, Mike Bibby, a promising point guard. And again, I think you're going to see Jason Williams and Mike Bibby. They're going to have, imagine these guys 5 years from now when they're in their prime.
It's going to be wonderful watching those two go at one another. And this is only the first chapter in what those two will do. And really, with young teams, you'll be able to see both of them grow with those clubs. And I think Jason's going to be a little bit further along because some of his young guys have at least been around for a while. And he's got guys like the Vlade Divac who've been to the championship round. They know what it's like to be a winner. So his learning curve will be quicker than Mike Bibby's. But Bibby is also a very special player.
The thing I like about Jason Williams, he doesn't seem to get rattled at all. He just goes about it. He's in the NBA for the first time. He's going to all these big cities. It doesn't rattle him. He's got control. He's got that charisma. He's got that one thing that you can't teach. He's got the intangibles. Because we know he has the skills, but he also has the mental aspect. It just does not seem that anything can take him out of focus. And that is so unusual for a guy who really does not have a lot of college experience coming in and running an NBA team the way he has in the first 2 games. It's incredible.
Yeah, and he doesn't run his mouth at all about the games he's having. That's the best part about it. You almost have to ask him a question twice to get one full answer from him. He speaks so little about himself, and I think that's such a great thing to see. He really believes in our job is to win. We didn't win. So really, it's not that I'm disrespectful and don't want to talk to you. I really have nothing more to say. We got a job to do, and let's be here and do it. Oh, I love that attitude from the kid.
Well, normally, you wait 3 years before you evaluate a draft, but through 2 games, I think most people right now would say that that is one of the best draft picks that the Kings have made. You can just see that he's got the moxie, he's got the skills that it's going to take to be successful in this league.
All right, now that picture was a perfect picture right there. All right, everyone thinks that you're learning on the floor. No. Right now, he's getting as much of an education sitting next to Byron Scott with his 3 championship rings and his tour of duty in the NBA. He's learning more sitting right there at times than he does on the floor because Byron has so much. That's a real smart learner from Jason Williams.
Good point. Lopez, half-minute left. And a blocking foul called on Luma. 109-82. Weber, Divac. Nice to see the guys having some fun tonight.
Boy, early season smiles. That's very good. Those are contagious, those smiles.
Just a whole different attitude, a different presence when you walk into the Kings locker room this year. Lopez. Well, hopefully they'll have a better headline in the paper tomorrow. I thought the headline in the paper the other day was unfair after 1 game. This is not the same old Kings, I can promise you that.
Oh, absolutely. This is a different club, one that has fun. Boy, the 3 amigos right there, they had a lot of fun on the floor tonight. Enjoy your time. Go back and get some work. Even Lawrence Funderburk had a smile on his face. To get the win without Lawrence tonight, also impressive because Lawrence is going to be very important to this year's Kings club.
109-84. Going the other way. Offensive foul called on Peter Luma. 14 seconds left. Final seconds. Now Henderson blocked by Aluma. You gotta love that with 6 seconds left, still taking care of your basket.
There you go. And you know what? Now it's the starters' turn to get up and applaud the guys on the floor. I love seeing the guys who are starters when they really root that second unit on.
Wheat from downtown. 4 seconds left. And that will do it. Stojakovic from half court. And the Kings win their home opener. They go to 1 up and 1 down in convincing fashion. Chris Webber, the player of the game. Chris Webber, splendid. And we understand he's going to be coming over, and we'll be talking with Chris Webber. 109-87 the final. We'll put a headset on Webb. Have him come around. We'll sit between us and while we get set up. You'll see the final 109-87. What a performance. All 5 starters doing the job.